What's up guys, it's the Hockey Radar tracking drafts and prospects, and in today's video we have another Saturday 2026 draft series video with our second defenseman in this draft class, Vancouver Giants top defenseman, number 4, Ryan Lin. This is video number 9 in this series, so make sure to check out the rest on my channel with top players like Ivar Stenberg and Gavin McKenna, as well as tons of other prospect content. Originally from Richmond, British Columbia, Ryan Lin was the 6th overall pick from the Giants in the 2023 WHL draft, becoming the 3rd defenseman picked behind Daxon Rudolph and Keaton Verhoff, two other top defensemen going into the 2026 draft. Ryan Lin will be 17 until next April and stands at 5'11", 175 pounds. He is a right-shot defenseman who I would categorize as a very strong two-way defenseman, and although he has an amazing offensive mind and puts up unreal point totals, calling him just an offensive defenseman would be a disservice to his very strong defensive game too, and so to avoid calling him one or the other, I think putting him in as a two-way D-man is more than fair. Right now he comes in just inside the top 10, being ranked anywhere between 7th and 9th, and I could see him moving up even higher if he has a strong year, since right-shot defensemen are hard to come by in the NHL, and almost any team could use a prospect like Lin in their pipeline, so don't be surprised if some teams have him in the top 5 in the draft come June. After one more year in academy hockey following his WHL draft, he would have his first full season this past year and would put up 5 goals, 48 assists for 53 points in 60 games, as a 16-year-old rookie who put up north of 25 minutes a game for an average Giants team who got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. The Giants, by the way, being no strangers to developing top NHL talent after producing 4th overall pick Bowen Byram at the 2019 draft, they know what it takes to showcase and develop strong defensemen. Back to Ryan Lin, his rookie year would bring up CHL All-Rookie Team honors as he led all WHL defensemen for points by a 16-year-old and was second for anyone 16 and under, just behind Landon Dupont. And to show just how productive Ryan Lin was, he would put up more points than both Keaton Verhoff and Daxon Rudolph, who both played more games and were on better teams, and he would put up more points than first-rounders Carter Yakimchuk and Tanner Molendyk. Also this past year, he would represent Canada at the U17 World Hockey Challenge, bringing home gold, the U18 World Juniors bringing home gold, and the Hlinka Gretzky Cup, finishing tied for second among defensemen for points in the tournament and salvaging a bronze medal for a disappointing Canada squad. He returns for the Giants again this year for a sophomore season, and with an average-looking roster again this year, apart from star Cameron Schmidt, I expect Ryan Lin to be the focal point of the team and really carry them on both sides of the ice. So with that being said, I project him to surpass his point totals from last year and put up 10 goals, 62 assists for 72 points in 65 or so games, well above point per game in his draft-eligible season. Watching Lin play, he is more often the most noticeable defenseman on the ice, hopping over the boards almost every second shift, like I said, playing over 25 minutes a game for the Vancouver Giants. He is able to play both left defense and right defense in the WHL, which is very valuable for them as this means he can double shift and play with multiple partners. Not sure if that'll translate to the NHL, but it's always good to have that ability, and if a team does think it can translate, that would add a ton of value to Lin as a prospect. On the ice, he has great composure, calm under pressure as he can protect the puck and has the skill to peel away from attackers and move the puck up the ice. He has good skating ability, nothing that blows you away, but reliable nonetheless as he can carry the puck up the ice and skate back hard on defense. Stick handling is a bit choppy, but that's the case for most defensemen, but he can still carry the puck well and make moves. Overall, he is very effective breaking the puck out of the zone, whether it's carrying it himself or finding an open man up the ice. He has a knack for safely getting the puck out. In the O-zone, he is shifty enough to beat the forward at the blue line and can carry the puck down the boards, looking towards the slot or circling the net. He is pretty deceptive with the puck, looking like he's going to shoot and then dishing it off, making the goalie move. It is very evident that he is a pass-first type of player, which isn't a problem, but I would really like to see him shoot the puck more, as I believe he has a great shot from the point, and I think he can double his goal total this year. He can walk the blue line very smoothly, head up the whole way looking for a play, and he can get the puck through any blockers, looking for a goal or for a tip net front. On the power play, he is an effective quarterback, great vision and distribution as he can dish the puck off to the flanks for a one-timer. Again, I'd just like to see him shoot a little bit more this season. He got some PK time as well and looked fine. One thing you notice about him is that he has a very active stick. I don't really see him as a penalty killer at the NHL level though. On defense, there is a lot to like. He is very smart, has a great active stick, breaking up passes and great at defending the rush, and then quickly transitioning off the ice and joining the rush. Good stick like I said, lots of poke checks and interceptions by anticipating and reading the play. In the WHL, he could play the body despite his size. We'll see if that part of his game can translate at the next level. Good positioning overall in the defensive zone, always has his head on a swivel looking to break up plays, and good recoveries as he can get back quickly and plays the gap really well with the incoming forward. Overall, like I said, a very solid two-way defenseman. I am really interested about if he can translate all of his game to the NHL or whether he'll become more of an offensive guy at the next level. I'd like to see him shoot more on offense and continue to work on his defensive game, as although it is already strong, I think he needs to get it to a point where it can translate to the next level and avoid becoming a one-dimensional, solely offensive defenseman, kind of like what Quinn Hughes was at the start of his career. Some teams I could see picking around the 10 slot and being a good landing spot for Ryan Lin. I think the New York Islanders could be interesting if they continue this retool, and Ryan Lin could be a huge addition to round out their future top four, with some other two-way guys in Matthew Schaefer and Keishon Aitchison. Especially if they can stay as solid two-way defensemen, this could maybe allow Ryan Lin to come in and focus more on offense. Seattle has always been in desperate need of a future defenseman in their pool, and I think whether they are picking at 5 or 10, they should be looking at this kid regardless. They could finally get their future top pairing defenseman in Ryan Lin that better lines up with the rest of their core like Beniers, Wright, Catton, and O'Brien. As good as Montour and Dunn are, they are already in their primes and don't fit the current outlook of the Kraken. Lastly, a bit of an outside pick, but if San Jose surprises people and ends up finishing 23rd or 25th, and with a top 8 or top 10 pick, I would honestly like to see them go after a defenseman, as they have so much talent up front with Smith, Celebrini, Misa, etc., and so targeting a defenseman at next year's draft could be the play for them, as Ryan Lin could play in a future pairing with Sam Dickinson, and round out a future D-core with Mukam Dallin and Simon Wang among others. I'm really excited to see what Ryan Lin can do this year, as I fully expect him to be the star of the Giants and put up north of 70 points going into the 2026 draft. He will be one to watch, as there are so many forwards in this top 10 that if someone picking 5 or 6 wanted a defenseman like a Seattle, we could see this cause them to jump up well above his rankings. I would expect Ryan Lin to be one of the top CHL defensemen this year, and maybe make the move to college the year following and appear in the NHL come 2027-28. He is a creative defenseman in the offensive zone, but also very smart and solid defensively, and adding the fact that he is a right-shot defenseman, he checks many of the boxes of what an NHL team looks for in a top defenseman draft pick. That's all for Ryan Lin. Make sure to check out the rest of the 2026 draft series on my channel, like and subscribe and comment your thoughts down below, and stay tuned for my favorite prospects part 2 video coming out this Wednesday.